our first heat of the evening. This for the 104 and 4 and faster division time bar. Out in front, sporting the number 1 saddle pad, Abby's Dream, out of the Tuckaway Farm, and being driven this evening by Mr. Who's that, Thomas?
Thomas White.
Mr. Thomas White. With the number 2 saddle pad is Big Red Machine, our track record holder, Big Red Machine, owned and driven this evening by the Mellow Fellow, Mr. Colin Mellow. And on the outside, sporting the number 3 saddle pad, GB Crystal Ball, owned by the Rook Stables and being driven this evening by Mr. Edward Sheik Rook. Again, this is for the 104 and 4 and faster division time bar. And our stock car is now collected on 3 speedy entries for our first heat of the evening. 3 ponies up and 3 ponies out of staggered start. A start nonetheless. Out of the first turn they come. And the real pony Abby's Dream getting a very good jump at the start. Out in front by a quarter mark now over Big Red Machine. TV Crystal Ball back 1 length already trailing the field. Running in order as they started 1, 2, and 3 as they head around paddock turn and down the backstretch for the first time. Abby's Dream now being pushed along by Big Red Machine, who already tips to the outside. TV Crystal Ball being woken up just off by a half now, chasing the front runners around Hickam High turn. Out of the 4th turn they come. Thomas White with Abby's Dream rocking and rolling on the 4th turn. Under pressure by Big Red Machine. TV Crystal Ball back in the mix, pushing the whole field along across us here on Spectator's turn. Into paddock turn and down the backstretch for the final time of the heat. Abby's Dream still out in front, but there goes Big Red Machine. Turn the cylinders on. TV Crystal Ball back a half as they go around Hickam High turn. Abby's Dream on the inside. Big Red Machine coming like a freight train. TV Crystal Ball up by 1 as they come out of the 4th turn. And down the home stretch is Abby's Dream with Big Red Machine and GB Crystal Ball. That is unofficial. Ponies for heat number notice. Final notice out of the Graceland Stables and being driven this evening by Mr. Stephen Cardoza. With the number 2 saddle pad is Stay Tuned. Stay Tuned, owned and driven this evening by Mr. Kevin Souza. Sporting the number 3 saddle pad, Crown's Jewel. Crown's Jewel owned by Ashley King and being driven this evening by Carista Rebane. And on the outside, sporting the number 4 saddle pad, Groner's Blaze. Groner's Blaze out of the Inwood Stables and being driven this evening by Mr. Isaiah Tavares. This is for the 107 and 2 to 108 and 2 division time bar. And our stock car now pulling away from our entries for heat number 2 of the evening. It's a 4-pony race for the 107 and 2 to 108 and 2 division time bar. A beautiful start. All 4 ponies up to the line. Out of the first turn they come, and it is the rail pony final notice. Golden Serve over Stay Tuned, who tucks back in. Crown's Jewel right there in the number 3 hole with Groner's Blaze pushing the whole field along. Running as they started 1, 2, 3, and 4. Heading around paddock turn and down the backstretch. Final notice, turn the cylinders on, opening up a half-length lead now, quarter-length lead over Stay Tuned. Back another length and a piece to Crown's Jewel, who's under pressure from behind by Groner's Blaze as they go around Hickam High turn. Out of the 4th turn they come. It's still final notice. Picking them up and putting them down out in front by a half-length over Stay Tuned. Back 3/4 to Crown's Jewel. Groner's Blaze still trailing the field as they head into paddock turn and down the backstretch for the final time in this heat. Final notice out in front now by 3/4 lengths over Stay Tuned. Crown's Jewel making way on the outside, trying to go with him is Groner's Blaze as they go around Hickam High turn. They're all bunched up again, coming out of the 4th turn and down the home stretch. It's final notice, trying to hold serve over Crown's Jewel, who's coming on very strong, but not enough real estate. It's final notice with Crown's Jewel, Groner's Blaze, and Stay Tuned. That is unofficial evening of an amended race. Out in front, sporting the number 1 saddle pad, Black and Mile. Black and Mile on the Tuckaway Farms and being driven this evening by Mr. C.J. White. With the number 2 saddle pad, Fantastic 5, owned by Mama Joe and Flood and Aunt Sylvia, and being driven this evening by Mr. Johnny 5. With the number 3 saddle pad, Captain Chaos. Captain Chaos out of the Graceland Stables, being driven this evening by Mr. Maurice Rayner. And on the outside, sporting the number 4 saddle pad, Pastor Paul. Pastor Paul, owned by Mr. David Lopes, and being driven this evening by Mr. Tyler Lopes. This is for the 105 to 106 division time bar. And our stock car has now collected our 4 entries for heat number 3 of the evening. 4 ponies up. And 4 ponies up, we'll sort them out as they come out of the first turn. The real pony, Black and Mile, picking them up and putting them down, being pushed along now by Fantastic 5. Captain Chaos right there in the mix with Pastor Paul trailing the field off by 1, heading into paddock turn. And down the backstretch they go. Black and Mild, the pace setter, out in front by a quarter now over Fantastic 5. With Captain Chaos right there in the mix off by another quarter. Back the half to Pastor Paul as they go around Hang on the High turn. Coming out of the 4th turn, it's still young CJ White with Black and Mild. Setting pace up over Fantastic 5. Captain Chaos right back in the mix with Pastor Paul now close to the distance but still trailing the field. Running 1, 2, 3, and 4 as they head around paddock turn. And down the backstretch for the final time of this season. Black and Mild opening up a half a length lead now over Fantastic 5. Captain Chaos still there off by a quarter. Pastor Paul still trailing the field off by 1. And it looks as though they will finish as they started as they come out of the 4th turn and down the home stretch. It's from wire to wire with wheels on fire for Black and Mild with Fantastic 5, Captain Chaos, and Pastor Paul. Ponies 4,